Yo, how's it going? Wealth Builders, Marquise Robinson here from the Wealth Forever podcast and Multifamily Millionaire Movement. Listen, I'm so excited to bring to you Wealth Wednesdays, where I'm going to be giving you guys the sauce, how you can secure a bag in real estate, but most importantly, save you time, money, and headaches, and give you exactly what you need, actionable steps to run up a bag, get wealthy in real estate, and last but not least, man, get financial free and get to where you want to go. So again, guys, dive in with me, man. Click the link below to subscribe and make sure you stay tapped in with us on Wealth Wednesdays. Let's make moves. Welcome back. So listen, man, this is the mistake that cost me close to 100K investing in my first multifamily asset. So number one, right? I know multifamily sounds very, very sexy. It's the things a lot of people talking about on social media, Instagram and things like that, right? I get it, right? It sounds sexy and everyone wants to buy an apartment complex and get wealthy and get rich overnight. But here's the thing, man. It's more that goes into it. And I want to take my time and really make sure I educate you all and save you time, money, and headaches the way I wish someone would have did for me. So number one, when it comes to multifamily investing, I want you to understand something, okay? You are buying a business. When I say buying a business, you need to make sure you have everything dialed in. Property management team to make sure you're collecting the rents, okay? Next, you want to make sure you have a GC, a legitimate GC who's going to make sure they're managing their team of contractors, or your contractors to make sure everything's being fixed on time. You need a CRM as well. I highly recommend a few different CRMs, right? Where you can use these CRMs to manage your tenants, okay? What if something breaks? The tenant needs to be able to submit this information to the CRM. What if they need to be evicted, or you need to make sure they have proof that they paid rent? So one of the CRMs that we use was Tenant Cloud, right? Very, very great system, very, very user-friendly, but most importantly, it does background screening as well, okay? So again, that's one thing I wish I would have did ahead of time, made sure I had these people set up 3-4 months ago, but most importantly, make sure I reached out and found the right CRM for me. Next thing is this, right? When it comes to multifamily investing, you want to make sure you understand the asset class, okay? It is 4 different asset classes. Asset class number 1 is an A-class asset. I want you to think about Buckheads, right? These newer developments built, this is where a lot of money's been raised and really built these things. Think about Rodeo Drive, LA, the higher ends of California, right? Maybe even Brooklyn, Miami. That's more so A-class. B-class is more so your Marietta, Georgias, if you will, right? Nicer suburbs, typically where people may be making 45 to 60K per year. They can afford to pay $1,500 in rent, right? Things like that. They have a very, very good job. They're looking for more, some amenities, but nothing over the top. In A-class, they definitely want to make sure they have some luxury things, right? Then C-class, that's where a lot of money is made. These assets, typically, they don't come with a lot of amenities, right? They may have on-site property management. They may have washer and dryer, but nothing over the top. These assets are typically older, 1968, maybe 1960 to 1980, maybe even 1940, right? These assets are a little bit older, but here's where the value add opportunity comes in. So for me, what I had to learn was what was the right asset class for me. And then last but not least, D-class asset. Pretty much sounds like what I just said, a D-class asset, meaning these assets are typically, in a war zone. They're undermanaged, they're underutilized, but most importantly, they're in a rougher area where the tenants over there in that area, or the population, if you will, the community, they probably can't afford to pay the higher rent. So again, you have A-class. Think about Buckhead, Rodeo Drive, the nicer areas, Brooklyn, Miami. B-class is more so your Mariettas, if the world, right? Nicer areas, more so family friendly, okay? Think about maybe some millennials, okay? C-class, not as rough as D-class, but it's still an opportunity there because, again, this is the opportunity to raise the rent and then do a value add on the property. I'm going to go into that next. And then D-class, very, very rough. I highly recommend staying away from those unless you have a very, very strong property management and general contracting team as well. So let's talk about value add. What is a value add opportunity? When we're talking value add, we're going to buy an asset, okay? And we're going to increase the value. Because remember, when you're buying a multifamily asset, you're buying a business. So with that being said, what we want to do is go in there, raise that rent, increase the value, add amenities, right? Go in there and turn those units as well. So think about it like this. Let's say the 31 unit that we bought about a year ago, right? If this asset is making 30K per month, we want to get it to up to maybe 43 to 45K per month. How would we do that? We would go in there and turn those units, number one, right? Number two, we would go in there, add LVP flooring, bring in new tenants, increase the value over there by increasing the rent, maybe by 10, 15%. So now, if you do that in every one of those units, in the 31 units, you can probably be around 42, maybe even 45K a month with rent payments. And that's before I count in the application fees and the money from the washroom and things like that, right? The wash and dry room and stuff like that. So that's one thing I wish I really would have known, right? Making sure I understand the value add opportunity, okay? Not just buying something just to buy it. Then last but not least, right? Let's talk about the different types of investors. When you're bringing these investors in, it's very important for you to understand what type of investor are you bringing in, right? Number one, do they understand that this is a long-term investment, right? Number two, do they understand that, hey, it may be a possibility that the investment may not come back in the time that we agreed upon? Are you open to a 6-month extension? Are you investing your last? If they're investing their last and they can't really stomach the thought of the return being late, this may not be the right investor for you. So it's very key that you put an investor avatar in place, meaning you know exactly who your investors are. Number one, they have their visions aligned with yours, right? Meaning they want to make an impact as well. And then last but not least, you want to make sure that they understand that this is a long-term investment, right? This asset may take 12 to 24 months before we can complete the full cycle and bring back your money, okay? And then last but not least, I would say this as well. Where are you going to find the investors? For me, I was reaching out to everyone in my phone, which is not bad, but it's not a really scalable model. So what I would recommend you do is go to areas where you can find investors, okay? Go to networking events, right? Go to multifamily events where people who are in these rooms, they understand the value of multifamily, but most importantly, they understand, hey, the pros and cons of the asset. Because again, you are buying a business. So it's very important that you show your business plan to these investors when you're looking out to raise their capital. But most importantly, right, make sure you show them how their money is secured in the deal. That's the biggest risk, right? That's the elephant in the room that a lot of people don't want to talk about. How is my money secured in this deal? So you want to make sure you address that elephant in the room, let them know what your game plan is, right? I would typically put a PDF document together with my business plan, let them know, hey, when we buy the asset, it's making $30K a month. When we get done, it's going to be making 42, maybe even 45K a month. This is the type of return you're going to be getting. I want to be very clear. These are our goals and ambitions. It may take 12 to 24 months before you see a return. Is that okay with you, Mr. or Miss Investor? If so, we can move forward with the next steps. Next thing I want to talk about is making sure everything is documented and you're communicating consistently with those investors. You should be communicating with them by month, I would say quarterly at least, and letting them know, hey, this is what's going on with the property, okay? We had 2 evictions this month. Hey, we turned unit number 2205 and 2207, right? These are how the units look before we got into them, and this is how the units look now after we've done the renovations. Okay, last but not least, hey, here's the return. We're going to be sending that return out to you quarterly. We want to confirm all the information. And last but not least, man, have an investor relations team in place, right? You want to have a team of people in your company who are reaching out to these investors, letting them know, hey, the return may be on time, it may be late, but most importantly, we're on track to get things done. And this is what we've done so far to increase the value of this asset to make sure you're secured in the deal. And I would also use some type of platform, some type of CRM to communicate with the investors and make sure their funds are secure, right? We've used Investor Portal before. That's another good one. And I'll drop the link below for you guys as well, right? That's the one that we use. It basically gives them a breakdown of the deal, right? They can wire their money directly through the Investor Portal. So you can send that money over to the escrow account with the closing attorney, right? Also, you can send them their quarterly payouts, the K1s and things like that as well. So here's the thing, man. You want to make sure you have software in place, a very strong team, and you want to have systems and processes in place as well, because again, you are buying a business. I cannot stress this enough, okay? The biggest difference between investing in multifamily and single family is this, right? Instead of managing 1 to 2 tenants, you're managing 10, 20, 30 families who may have something that breaks from time to time. So guys, it's been a pleasure. I'll give you guys this game and this sauce on multifamily investing, man. Do me a favor. Click the link below to subscribe. If you want to learn more game and really dive in a little bit deeper, do me a favor, man. Click the link that I'm going to have below right here, right? Or you can comment cash flow. I'm going to send you a link to join me on my free masterclass where we go over this stuff from A to Z, how you can secure your first multifamily deal, raise money and secure the investment as well. And last but not least, build the systems and processes, okay? Put that contract in place, property manager, the right softwares that you need so you can scale your multifamily portfolio. Catch you guys next time, Wealth Builders. This has been another Wealth Wednesday. I'm out.